So I actually had a version of this that was ready to go and ready to go out, but I don't think I did it justice. So we're redoing this again, and we're talking about who will win the Women's Royal Rumble match. Hello and welcome to FCTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about WWE and we are talking about who will win the Women's Royal Rumble match, as I just said in the intro. But before we dive into that, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below on who you think will win the Women's Royal Rumble, and I'll try and apply to every single one of them as we dive into this topic. So yeah, I think there's a lot of candidates right now for who could win the Women's Royal Rumble. There's a few names. I have my pick. We're going to run through a few of the names and I'll discuss whether or not I think they should win or not. Let's start with Bianca. Now, Bianca's always going to be in the conversation. Bianca Belair, she is always going to be in the conversation whenever she is in a Royal Rumble, wherever she's positioned in a feud with someone who has the title, she could always be positioned for the Royal Rumble winner. And I don't think it's her year. I don't think it's Bianca's year to win the Royal Rumble. I think she had a great win when she won in 2020. I think that was really, really good. But I don't think, the feud with Damage Control warrants that. It doesn't warrant a Royal Rumble win from Bianca. And I think, if anything, unless they're planning a heel turn, I wouldn't advise Bianca winning this match. I think you could use it to fuel an egotistical Bianca Belair who's really got inside her own head, believes her own hype to the max, and is really sort of becoming a bit psychotic and a bit too egotistical for her own good. I think that could work in terms of a story, but it doesn't seem to be the story that they are telling. I think Bianca may be lined up for a cool Legends match. Maybe she faces either, Trish, a returning Trish, or she's just set up for another person for Charlotte Flair to face at WrestleMania, which I think is cool. I think that would be a good match. Obviously, there's a big Jade Cargill in there somewhere as well. We'll get to her in a minute. Another person, let's just run through a few quick ones. It's not going to be Charlotte Flair. If it is, I will eat this empty can of Fanta Lemon. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think she's either booked for a big money match with Jade Cargill or she's in sort of the big match with Bianca, as I've just said. I don't think it is going to be her. And I think you've got to look at the roster. I think you've got to look which brand needs the Royal Rumble most. And I've got to argue that I think it's Raw. I think Rhea Ripley is crying out for a banging contender because she's not really had many. Natalya, as much as I love Zoe Starks wasn't going to beat Rhea. Raquel wasn't going to beat Rhea. So I think the Rumble could really heat up a person who's going to face Rhea. And to me, it comes down to two people. The Royal Rumble this year comes down to two people, maybe three with an asterisk. So let's address the thumbnail first. AJ Lee. I don't think AJ Lee will win the Royal Rumble. I think she will probably be in the Royal Rumble. I think she will be maybe number 30, get eliminated, set up a match with someone, set up a program, cool legend spot, return. I don't think she's going to come back and win the Royal Rumble. The other person who could return is a Mercedes Moné. If Mercedes Moné is cleared, Sasha Banks could be on her way back to WWE, and that is something that's been put out there. It's been reported that potentially Tony Khan may have dropped the ball on signing Moné, and she may well be going back into the loving arms of Triple H. So I think Mercedes Moné is a good shout. I think Sasha Banks coming back, winning the Royal Rumble, and immediately positioning herself as a top dog is just perfect. I think that would work so well for the Sasha Banks character and so well in terms of how it works in the story with the other person who could win the Royal Rumble, and that's Bayley. Bayley and Sasha have history. How this plays out, I think you could have an incredible spot. Maybe Damage Control turn on Bayley in the Rumble. She's getting beat down, and then Sasha re-debuts, and comes to the aid, and Damage Control and Bayley and Sasha all eliminate each other, and they just keep brawling. And that is how you keep this story hot. You keep Damage Control and Sasha Banks and Bayley apart, leading to a big money match at WrestleMania with Io Sky. That is how I'd like to see that play out. Bayley, I think, is a really awesome choice to win the Royal Rumble. Like, I love the idea of Bayley winning, but I think the story itself doesn't seem like it's going to play out that way. Granted, we've got a lot of time before the Royal Rumble, but I would have liked maybe Damage Control kick Bayley out at Survivor Series, and then we don't see Bayley until the Royal Rumble. She comes back, eliminates Asuka, eliminates Kairi Sane, eliminates everyone, and wins. I think that is how I would like to have seen Bayley do it. It depends how long they're going to keep this Bayley turn going. It really, really does. It's very compelling. I'm really into it. But I don't know if that necessarily means Royal Rumble winner for me. To me, the one person who needs the Royal Rumble more than anyone, like I said before, is Rhea Ripley. I think Rhea Ripley is crying out for someone who is credible and someone who could actually take the belt off her. And I think that's how you use this Royal Rumble, which is why my pick to win the Royal Rumble above Bayley, above Sasha, above Charlotte, above Bianca is Becky Lynch. I think this would be really great for Becky to get 2 Royal Rumble wins, and it perfectly positions her to be a solid contender for Rhea, because how else are you going to build someone up to that strength? You have the Elimination Chamber, but having Becky win the Royal Rumble, outlast 29 other women to do it, and then there you have it. And I'd play it out. I would play this out. I think the perfect way to do this, and this is my fantasy booking, is Becky wins the Royal Rumble, and then you have a month of her choosing who it's going to be. Is it going to be Rhea? Is it going to be Io? And then after Rhea has defended her World Championship in Australia at Elimination Chamber, Becky Lynch's music hits, and you have the stare down in that big, I think it's big stadium in Australia, staring down one another, and that is your sort of go-home pay-per-view angle for WrestleMania. Becky Lynch, the man, versus Mammy at Mania. I think that's the way to do it. I think you can use the Elimination Chamber to get Bayley in there with Io Sky, and the other flock of people that I've said I don't think need the Royal Rumble win. So yeah, Becky Lynch to me should win the Royal Rumble. And that's it. That is my pitch. That is who I think should win the Royal Rumble. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Who do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be Sasha? Do you think it's going to be Jade? Let me know everything you want down below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.